Welcome back to another episode. It's the weekend today. Weather is pretty wet, not overly exciting. Ducking in between a shower so that we can update you guys on all the things that have been happening, because there's actually been so much happening. And I'll try and capture a little bit in this video. Just make sure we lock this one up so we don't lose any of these young birds just yet. So you'll notice there's some young birds in here. We'll get to those in a second. What we've done so far over the last, probably a couple of days ago I did, is get all these perches in. These are actually day perches. There's 5 on each, I'm pretty sure. 2 rows of them on both sides. So that's what I space them out evenly. We could probably fit another row in there if we really wanted to, but we'll just see how we go, because we could just move one across, put another one in there. But at this point, not overly too concerned about it, because I don't more perches and I'll just be tempted to get a lot more birds than I really should have. But looking pretty good so far. So we've got those ones in. They're just some really basic stuff. This is the framing timber I used for the whole loft, so I'm just reusing materials that we had, it's generally a really good thing to do, because you get a lot of little offcuts like this from all the other work. I've got a mountain of these offcuts, so that's why I was like, you know what, I'm just going to build these. So we've done 20 perches like this. We've got the ones on the other side there. We'll have a look at those in a moment. So plenty of space for the birds. We maybe could look at squeezing some more somewhere else, but it starts getting overly complicated. And the birds have been using this one here. You can see I've added another piece of the framing timber that I've got here. I just painted it a grey, and we just screwed that onto this. So it sits on there pretty good. And by the amount of pooing that you can see on there, the birds, they really like it, and it is super sturdy, because we'll put some really big screws in it through here to tie it in. It seems to work really well. I've done the same on the other side as there, which you can kind of see. And they really like it as well, especially on days like today where you can see there's water on here. They come up here and sit in here and get the water on them. They just really love the rain, and especially this section here. This is what we designed this for, to be very multifunctional. And the birds have actually been out here, same on the other side as well, and just laying in this where the rain has been coming in a little bit. Maybe it's about here, so pretty good. You can see they've gone through their grit, filled all that up, so I'll have to take that out, give that a nice top up as well. Oh, they're getting excited. And these young birds, been trap training them as well. Haven't filmed it, but we will get these out. I'd say today, won't be in this video, but I'll try and film it as a separate one, because it might be a bit long. But I have been trap training them all, so they all are reasonably fluent with the trap. They're actually pretty good. There's always a few babies that are super, they just pick things up really quickly. You can see some of them starting to molt a bit. That come on pretty quickly, surprisingly. There's a few that haven't, but then there's a few that are starting to pick up the molt reasonably heavily, like this one, which just really caught me off guard, because they're generally not that quick on it. And what we've got in this side is 3 other little babies that we have weaned off. We've got another 4 coming, which will be here within the next few days as well. Brought these ones out because their parents are starting to sit on another round of eggs as well. So I don't want to risk too much when it comes to those eggs. It's actually been good, because I've got little shock in here as well. We're definitely, because she can't fly, we're definitely finding some uses for her. She can kind of fly. I have been trap training her a little bit, just so she can get out on the landing board and things like that, but she's looking really good. She's quite happy, and she's very gentle natured, this little hen. So she's been in here just showing these little guys the ropes, especially when they first come in. I just want to make sure that all the little babies are pretty quick onto getting some water and food into them, but these guys, no problem here. And these 3 here are the first $20,000 ring babies as well, so they are pretty special. All the birds are pretty special, but these ones we really got to keep an eye on. We want to make them as good as we can and get them through. We're not going to be easy on them, but we can't push them super hard, because we don't want to lose them all. But they're all looking pretty good. They've been in here like a day, maybe 24 hours, but they are, let's have a look. Yeah, heaps of seeds in there, which is good. How about you? Yep, you got plenty of seeds. Oh yeah, you too. Look at this one. This is the feisty one that was in the nest box by itself. So this is off the Hooban, he's half Hooban, and then off one of Leon Storm's daughters. But he's a fantastic one, this one. His brother is this one up here. So that's his brother up there, quite a big stocky one as well. So I'm keeping an eye on him. He's a beautiful little bird, this one. Lots of character, like I said, this is what I like. And these two are Leon Storm's babies, and they're getting pretty good. They're getting up onto this first level. That's what I like to see. I like them up on there. Hopefully, the next few days I'll get a bit further as well. But they are eating and drinking, which is the main thing. That's why I've got them separated. And their droppings actually look really good. I'm actually quite happy how they're turning out as well. Because usually when you first bring them and they get stressed, and sometimes they're a little bit runny, but they're really good. So I'm actually pretty stoked about that, which I'm happy how they're going. We're going to bring in those other ones over the next few days. So there'll be, I think there's another 4. So we'll have 7, I think we'll have. And we've probably got the same number over here as well. So these ones, we're going to let them out later on today. We're going to let these ones out too. There's all of them. I've trap trained all these ones. Let's go around to these guys. What I've been doing as well before we get to that section, I've actually been shutting this one off and letting the babies come out. They come out this morning and they were all laying out in the sun here, which is really good. I want to imprint them as quickly as possible into this loft. So that's really good. And we'll probably start trap training them soon as well. We want to get them as full and as comfortable with this trap as possible. And you can see this side as well. I've got this door open, this door, and this one. Generally, this is how it will be. Nice and open so the birds come in and out, no problems at all. And then when we do need to separate them a bit, you'll notice the black hens in there. We'll get to that in a minute. But it's just easier. So when we do separate them, because I don't think I'm going to run any motivation this year. I'm not really sure. So we'll just see. We can extend the loft if we need to. But yeah, I really want to get a little bit more focused on young birds this season. Sort these guys out, but really sort of work on that one loft birds as well. That's what I'm getting pretty excited about, breeding a family that's reasonably competitive. And I feel like Storm and Leo crossed into some of these other birds. Gonna get us into that kind of league, hopefully. But we'll get there. So what's the black hen? The egg that she was sitting on actually turned out to be, it died. There was nothing in it. I'm not sure. It's just, she's a first-time mum. If you do remember her first round of eggs, they both were infertile as well, which was pretty upsetting. But the second round, she had the 2 black babies, which are over in there. I've taken her out. You'll notice when we get to another video and we get over to the breeding section, there was a blue bar hen in here from Adam Archer. I've taken that over there into that box, and she's actually paired up with the cockbird that she was paired up to. So we're giving her a bit of a break, but I know, look, you really want to see more blacks, and you definitely are. We're just going to get her out flying for a little bit, and when the breeding, one of the boxes empties out again, we're going to get Beefcake, and I want to pair Beefcake up to this little hen. So we give her a bit of a break, because I feel like she's going to need a break if she's going to be putting up with him, because he is a bit of a, he's full on, that big boy. So we'll give her a bit of a break. When a box comes available again, we'll pair those 2 up and see how they go. Big Beefcake, which is this guy. Most of you are familiar with him. Bit of a channel favourite. So we'll pair him up with this little black hen here, which I think will be some pretty good little babies as well. And then we'll just, maybe we'll do 1 round and just see how they go. I am starting to get a bit pickier with the babies. We're trying to breed as many as we can, but yeah, we need to make sure that we experiment with all our pairs. So he's chasing hens now, the big fella. I also did get a text message about my, I've got the plastic widow hood fronts coming from, I think they come from England, somewhere in Europe. So they're going to be here in a couple of weeks. So they were planning to go into this section, but we might even look at building maybe a bit of an extension or a separate loft to run. I think I've got 12 widow hoods, so we could probably run 24 birds in there, which is 12 pairs. If we want to do motivation, we could just keep this whole loft for young birds and just racing off the perch, because realistically in one loft there's no motivation, nothing. All the birds are pretty much treated the same. So we'll see how we go. I'm still debating whether we put those boxes in here. We'll see how we go. It just depends on the numbers. But it would really, I don't know, drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think. Could we put them in here? Or maybe we could put even a separate smaller loft out here that just houses widowhood boxes with those plastic widowhood fronts, all that set up. So we could actually move a whole bunch of these birds over into here, all the older ones, pair them up, and even just race them on eggs or on babies next season. But who knows? I really want to experiment with that, but we'll play that one a bit closer as we get there. We'll just get our breeding sorted first. And you'll see this side, it's identical to over here. Same perches, and same one on here as well. So it's coming together slowly. The only other thing I want to do is try and get some really big ones of these drinkers as well. There's nothing around at the moment. There's just nothing anywhere. That's all the biggest I can get. So we'll wait and see. And like the young birds, these ones actually have had more training in that trap. They're all reasonably fluent in it, which is really good. There's only a few of the red checkers that I probably haven't, but we will get them in there later on. But all these birds going out. Every single bird that's in these two sections, I'm going to let out later, get them out flying, and get them back in the air. We have, realistically, the race season here is still going. There's still like 4 or 5 races to go, I think. We're not going to make any of them, but I think the race season might be cancelled because there has been an outbreak of PMV. So I think the season might be cancelled. I'm not really sure yet. I've just seen a little bit of chatter on the internet, on our Facebook group, so we'll just wait and see. But for us, we'll get these guys out flying. I'm still waiting. I've been waiting for about 6 weeks for some kind of response for my PMV medication. They haven't even got back to me yet. Same thing with my benzene clock as well. It's been 5 weeks after the phone calls and the emails, and no one's got back to me. So I'm not sure if there's been lockdowns or things over on the eastern states which are affecting that. But I'll tell you what, things are very hard at the moment to get things. Drinkers, the PMV vaccinations, I'm going to ring them next week again, probably on Monday, and just see what's going on. Benzene, they might miss out. I might even go to Unicon if these guys don't get back to me soon enough. I might just go and get a Unicon clock. There's so much easier to get than the Benzings. So Benzing might miss out this time, because we might have to go Unicon. As long as we got a clock for next season, that's the main thing. We do have a Taurus, but that's not going to be used in those clubs that we're going to be flying in next season. So there's a lot of crazy things going on. And also, I think I've narrowed it down to the one loft in Australia that I want to fly in. So we may look at sending 2 to 4 birds into this race. So that's going to be exciting. I realistically, if we don't do it now, then we're going to wait another 12 months, and let's just get in and get it done, I'd say. So we may look at looking to 4 to 5 birds for the one loft, because I think there's 4 birds and a spare. So we'll see. Let me put some comments down below. Which birds do you think we should send? Which babies should we breed from? Grab from the babies from certain pairs. I think it's some of the Leo Storm ones. We may even look at shock ones. Not really sure. We've got a few Vanderbolts as well. That are looking quite promising in nests. But let's cut this video short. Get ready. Next video is going to be some of these babies out. We're going to have these babies out, but then we're also going to have the older birds out as well. So it's good. We've been waiting for this. The birds are all settled in, trap trained. Make sure you drop your comments down below. I'm going to see you all in the next video. See you.